Hey everybody, it's Kevin and newprophotographer.com. Here's the story of a photo number 2. And this is looking at a shot that I did a week ago on a shoot with a local musician named Paul Patterson. And this is one of the shots that I took. I'm not convinced that I'm actually going to use it, but I decided I'd use it as a demo for this anyway. So this week I bought some new software. I got Nick Software's complete package for Lightroom, and I really like it. Some things are great and easy to use. Other things are, well, they're a little bit complicated. Some things don't have the results that I want. But the majority of things in this Nick Software package are great. Definitely worthwhile. So here I have the photo as it was shot with my T3i. So it definitely needs some more contrast. There's a number of things that it really needs. I may end up doing a mild crop with it. He's looking very centered in the screen. I don't have a lot of room to play with, but so let's do it. This is how it was shot. All that I have done in Lightroom is I have not. Okay, so I apply profile corrections, and that does a mild correction for distortion from my lens. I do that on every single one of my folders. So you double click or right click in the Windows world and say edit in. And I want to do Sharpener Pro, the raw pre-sharpener. And I'm going to edit with the Lightroom effects, which is just my profile correction. And it's going to open up Sharpener Pro 3.0 by Nick Software. If I look at his face, so this is a one set and forget. It's very, you see, it looks just a little bit soft. And when I compare the two images, it comes up looking pretty sharp. You know, when I was looking at it before, it didn't look soft, but comparing it to slightly sharpened, yeah, it was a little bit soft. So you click save. Brings us back into Lightroom with a copy. So there's my original image, and there's my slightly sharpened. It doesn't look very different at all at that resolution, but it's different. And you want to do your sharpening first. So now I'm going to edit in Viveza. I guess I'm pronouncing that correctly or close. Now this is the piece of software that I really, really wanted. That's my cat saying hello again today. She always does. So it adds a little bit of contrast when you load it in. I'm going to give it a lot of contrast. I am a big fan of contrast, so I usually go up, I don't know, 24, between 20 and 25% contrast there. Makes me happy. Boom. See that the image didn't really look all that flat before, a little bit, but now, boom, check it out. That's a global adjustment. My brightness, I'm going to bring up just a little bit. Contrast always comes at a sacrifice of overall brightness, but it looks great. Okay, now we're going to do a couple of things to really going to go into my sky. And bring the brightness of my sky down a little bit. I'm going to bring the structure up. Structure is sort of like sharpness. I got to get this line out of the way. So what this is doing is it's selecting the sky and anything that is similar to the sky. Bring my saturation up. I want to bring my blues. Oh, not that much. That's ugly. Blue up a little bit. Warmth. That's just going to make my sky a little bit more interesting than it was. So there it was there. It just brings out a little bit of interest. Could perhaps be a little too dark. I'm going to bring the brightness up a little bit. There we go. Now this guy's just a tad more interesting. It may not survive the crop anyway, but... Okay, my background grass. I want to darken this stuff. It's a little bit bright and it distracts the eye, so I select it, and it only darkens the grass. Leaves him alone. See, that's the way it was before. See, he really pops out of the background. But I do want a little bit of structure added into that. I like the extra detail. I want it to be there if you go looking for it, but I don't want the eye to want to go looking for it. So his jacket, on all the photos I've done of him, it's needed a touch of brightness and a touch of structure, just to give it that nice, shiny, nice jacket. I want him to look like he had a great jacket on. It's just an average jacket of the day. But there, it looks great. So that's how you swipe. If you want to get rid of those control points, just go off the screen. They go. You come back in. They go. I actually wish Lightroom would work exactly like that. If anybody knows how to make Lightroom work like that, I certainly would appreciate hearing about it. Okay, saturation. I don't need to touch the saturation. That's just fine. We may actually be done here. Look at his hair. And right now, so I'm looking down at the little preview in the bottom right. So looking at what we got done here. I think I'm going to bring a little bit more detail out in his pants. So it only affects within that circle, which I like. And only on things which are similar. I don't want to bring his pants up too bright. I think I will. Bring up the shadows a little bit. And structure. Let's give it some structure. Not too much. It starts looking fake. Okay, I'm happy with that. Now we got a guy sitting there. Let's just do a little bit for the guitar here. I'm going to bring the brightness down on the guitar. Because I really don't want the guitar to... I don't want it to be a picture of a guitar. I want it to be a picture of a guy with a guitar. We are going to give the guitar a little bit of structure. A little bit more contrast. Even a little less bright. There we go. Now we're talking. So that's what we got. That's the way it was. That's the way it is. The whole picture could use a little bit more brightness. Okay, there we go. Now we click Save again. And this is going to bring us back to Lightroom. Zoom in a little bit so we can see the difference. So 1 of 3 is our latest edit. And this is how it came out of the camera. And that's how we've edited. It's subtle, but it's the difference between sort of flat-ish lighting. It's got a little bit of drama in it to just really nice and clear. So now I think I'm a big fan of these vignettes. Let's put a little bit of that in there. You know what? I had expected to crop this, but I don't. Let's try a little light crop. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay, just like that. See if we go in and look at his eyes. I'm going to try something. I'm going to try to brighten his eyes. what I find in this situation where it's really dark is that it can just end up not looking real. And people expect eyes to look real. Paul's got amazing eyes. You should see, actually, maybe I'll just show you what his irises are like. I'm actually having this problem where once I select this thing, it's changing the tool that I'm using. I'm not sure why it's been doing that. Yeah, I think that will give the hint of his iris, but I think that's all I'm gonna do to that. Okay, so one thing I learned this week, so here's a whole bunch of photos that I printed off, and you know, this looks razor sharp on my screen. So I printed it on a cheap printer locally, and it came up really soft. And so did this one, and so did this one, and so did this one. So is it a problem with this, with the printer? Maybe it could be the printer. But these are my test proofs for the shots that I'm going to deliver to this client, and they almost all of them came up a little bit soft. So what I decided to do was to not do the same skin softening that I had been doing. So Paul had work that day and he had to shave in a hurry. And unfortunately, that has led to a number of little corrections to be done. So the rule with correcting skin blemishes that I go with is that if it's a very temporary blemish, like a pimple or something like that, then I get rid of it. If it's going to be there in 2 weeks because it's just the way your skin looks, then I'm going to leave it that way. So what I had been doing with Paul is using the softened skin. And you know what? It looks great on women. It really does. But I'm finding that on men, it's again and again, it's just making the photo look like it's out of focus. And it's not. This photo is sharp. There's no need for it to look like it's out of focus. So I'm not doing it on him. I've a lot of the other shots, a little bit more close-up portrait shots, I did it very, very lightly. But it's way more important for a shot to look sharp and to be sharp than to have the skin baby soft. You know, Paul's going to appreciate a photo that's sharp of him. So Paul wanted some great shots for his website. We went out and shot a bunch of them. I did have a number of problems with focus on this day. I made some mistakes, and some things just seemed to be the camera wasn't up for the task. But this is the sort of shot that we got. I like it. I think this is a nice shot. Actually, I think I'm going to give it to him. I'll deliver it as an extra to him. And hopefully you enjoyed it. So have a great week. Till next time, I'm Kevin, and this is newprophotographer.com. Thanks for stopping in.